beginning of the creation of God.
So the Lord's beginning, his first creation is his son. That's the very first spirit that he created. Got the Most High, he created his son, Yahushua. All right. Then he gave the blueprint to his son to create everything that you can and you cannot see, including wisdom, including the angels, including the world. So in order, what was wisdom created? I wouldn't be able to tell you that. But the first thing that was ever created was Yahushua. He was the first spirit ever created. So he's the beginning, he's the first. And through him, he could create wisdom, the angelical beings, etc.
Okay, so says make no graven image of the Most High.
Right.
So I'm just talking. When the Messiah says this is how we pray, our Father. It would seem that when he says Father, he has produced an image. We all have fathers and all our fathers have passed. Now I understand, from my understanding, Abba, you know, he's the source, he's the head, he is. But to say that he is a father, it brings a problem for me that every man is a man, but not every man is a father. Right. And I'm not trying to do philosophy here, I'm just common sense.
Okay, I understand you.
Every man is a man, but not every man is a father. In order for a man to be a father, he has to have relations with a woman.
By definition. Okay. Right.
So if man is created in the image of the Most High, and Elohim is plural, God is not plural. Or God is plural, but the English messes it up.
Right.
So when it says, let us make man in our image, male and female, if you are the Most High and he is the Messiah, and that's the first spirit that's created, and you're saying, let us make man in our image, then it should be masculine. However, it's masculine, feminine. And just hear me out. Adam. Out of Adam's side comes what? A woman. The Messiah. He's the second Adam. Out of his side comes the what? The ecclesia.
The what?
Ecclesia, the called out ones. It's not the church. Because the word church in Greek mythology is the daughter of the devil. Church is doing Sunday. The ecclesia does the Sabbath. Even Satan, Lucifer, he has even Lucifer, being masculine, he has a feminine counterpart. The whore. Everything is masculine, feminine, masculine, feminine. Now, if that's the case, then the blueprint is Elohim. Elohim is plural. Even when it says, Hear, O Israel, our Lord, our God is Echad. Echad is plural. Now, here's the trick. Not a trick. When a man and a woman get together, they become one.
Right.
Why is it so problematic to say that Israel has a mother? I mean, if you have a father, then where's the mother? Especially if you have a father who has a begotten son. And I'm not talking Catholicism. I ain't saying Yah had relations with Eve. Is that?
You're saying where's the mother side at?
Yeah. And what if Moses put it in the law?
Well, we're going to first tackle Genesis 1:29.
Too much? Is that?
No, it's not too much. We want to make sure we tackle one thing at a time.
Yes, sir.
All right. Give me Genesis 1:29.
Book of Genesis.
Give me Colossians 1:15.
Book of Genesis chapter 1 and verse 29. And behold, said Salaki.
1:26.
20 and 26.
Genesis 1:26.
Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image.
So that's why it's very important to go into the Hebrew words. Is this where it was written in?
Right.
You go into that Hebrew word for God, like you said Elohim, but in the Hebrew is Alahayim.
Okay.
You got Allah and then you got Alahayim, which makes it plural. So in this word is letting you know it's not as multiple one beings. Right? That's why it says let us. But it says God. So this God that is talking about is Christ and the angels that was present. We're going to explain that. Let's go to Colossians 1:15. And give me Job chapter 38 and give me verse 7.
It's the book of Colossians, chapter 1 and verse 15. So, who is the image of the invincible God, the firstborn of every creature?
Right, talking about Christ.
For by him were all things created,
Right.
that are in heaven and that are in the earth.
See that? So Christ created everything you can and cannot see. Right? The Most High just gave him that decree to do that. Gave him a blueprint. Just like David, he didn't build the temple, but he gave Solomon that blueprint to do it. So, let me get Job chapter 38 and verse 7.
Book of Job, chapter 38 and verse 7. When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy.
Right?
Or who shut up the sea with doors?
Start at verse 6.
Verse 6. Whereupon all the foundations thereof fastened, or who laid the cornerstones thereof? When the
Meaning, who laid the cornerstones of the earth? Now, when you read Job, this is the Lord appearing to him, telling him, hey, who did all of these things? Was you there when I created the earth? Was you there when I brought forth the stars and its constellations? Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you bring forth the goats in the time of when they hungry? Things like that. So he's saying, who laid the corner, the foundation of the earth? Read on.
when the morning stars sang together,
Right.
and all the sons of God shouted for joy.
And what?
And all the sons of God shouted for joy.
Because in the creation, when the sons of God, in this context, talking about the angels, they were shouting for joy when the foundation of the earth was laid. Right? So, I say all of that to say, in that Genesis 1 and 26, that is plural. It's not talking about the Most High, and there's no feminine side to it.
Okay.
It was just Christ and the angels.
So how would you define the word mate? Like
Mate?
my mate, a mate,
I would say significant other,
significant other.
mate, partner, companion.
So how should man personify the image of Elohim if man has a wife? I mean, it's like if we're created in the image of God
Right.
to be fruitful and multiply, and as the story goes, the Most High had a begotten son. He had one son.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who is he begetting him with? Who is he mating with?
He didn't mate with anybody. He just created him.
Okay, so Isaiah 34:16.
All right, let's go to it. Isaiah 34:16. Before we Google it, I want to tackle the point that you made, though, about who is that feminine characteristic
I understand.
as the Israelites.
Okay, yeah, I see that. I accept that.
Give me-
I agree with you.
Give me
Yes.
Proverbs chapter 7 and 2. So what you have to understand is you have something called wisdom.
Mhm.
But wisdom is a spirit. And a lot of people talking about, well, wisdom, that's the Lord's wife. But hold on, that's not. The Most High, he doesn't have hormone. He can't get aroused and
Right.
turned on, and
Right. So why are we calling him Father?
because he has characteristics of
Exactly.
a father.
And with the characteristics of a father and him being an El, there's the characteristics of a mother.
But that's the thing, it is no mother.
Okay, no problem. So Isaiah 34:16.
Just like me, I don't have kids, but
Exactly.
I'm still a father to the fatherless.
No problem.
So children don't always make you a father, if that makes sense. And that's just by the example that I use.
I mean, because even Paul says that he's a father until
church.
Right. Ecclesia.
It's the book of
No, Proverbs.
Proverbs. Which one? 72. Book of Proverbs.
Actually, drop that. Give me the book of Sirach, chapter 15 and 1. Give me Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17, and give me verse 12.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 15 and verse number 1.
Go.
He that feareth the Lord will do good, and he that hath the knowledge of the law shall obtain her.
Talking about wisdom. You're doing?
And,
No, we go ahead.
and as a mother shall she meet him.
It says what?
And as a mother shall she meet him.
She's going to meet you as a mom.
Exactly.
Because of the things that she teaches you, though.
Exactly. So this is what I say. This is what I'm expressing. We are saying that the Most High is our Father.
Right,
The Messiah is his son.
right.
What?
Who is the mom? Who is the mother? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, his mother is wisdom.
No.
This is what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm saying, why is it so problematic to say that wisdom is God's wife, counterpart, because all wisdom is doing, and this is literary, not literal, that whoever wrote it, David, Solomon, when they wrote it, they're trying to give us an understanding of this generation that I'm not going to talk about your mother. And if I do, I'm pretty sure your brothers be like, we're not going to let nobody talk about our mother.
Right.
And if the father has a wife, which is his mother and his wisdom, all she's trying to do is teach us the commandments. That's it.
So you're basically saying your family led to that belief, and you're saying it's not far-fetched.
I'm asking.
Oh, you asked me.
Yeah, I'm asking. Is that problematic to say, to express, not that God has a wife, not that we have a mother,
right?
Not that God is the father, but these are the characteristics. But as Israelites, we're not going to let nobody talk about our mother.
Absolutely not.
And if our mother is wisdom, and the Most High created her first,
right?
All she's doing is trying to get us back to the precepts,
right,
to understand, so that we can go to the Father.
Right.
And then when we go to the Father, He won't be saying, "Did you do what your mother said?" Which is the Holy Spirit,
right,
which is the dove,
right,
which is the Revelation 12,
right,
which is El Shaddai, many-breasted one. My father don't have breasts. I mean, I know I'm a little bit out of shape, but anyway, My father don't have breasts. But when Paul is saying, I wish that you were on meat, but you're still on milk, where does milk come from?
Right.
A tit, right.
Right.
So that tit, that nourishment, is from our mother, wisdom.
Right.
So if Moses put it into the law and we defile it, we keep saying he. When the Messiah was saying that he's going to send the comforter, it wasn't he, it was she. The Greek neuters the Hebrew. It was she.
Well, you have to prove that.
Okay, no problem.
That's an argument that I had to prove.
Discussion. We're reasoning.
Right.
We're reasoning. We're not.
Right.
Okay. So now, real quick. God doesn't like.
I do want to finish.
Yes, sir.
Though.
Okay.
Real on this, because wisdom plays not just a motherly role. According to the Bible, she's known as your wife.
Yeah.
According to the Bible, she's known as your sister.
Exactly. As you said, context.
Right. It depends on the context.
Context. So in the context of Genesis 1, the context is that the Father, I present the Father and wisdom, because Sirach says that she was the first thing created. Now,
I didn't say that she was the first thing. She was just created before the world began. It's a lot of things that was created before the world began.
Okay, so she's the first thing created before what?
She wasn't the first thing
created. She was the first thing.
She was just created before the world was.
Okay.
She was created before the world was created.
Okay, so Genesis 1 is the beginning of the world.
Yes, but it's a beginning before Genesis 1 and 1.
But we're just talking about what's written.
Okay, what's written?
Is Genesis 1 is of this world.
Right.
So Sirach would say she was created before this world. Whatever happened before
Absolutely.
that, we don't know.
Absolutely.
But we can reason to say that the Messiah was the first one, based on Colossians.
Well, not just Colossians. It's a lot of verses that go into before Genesis 1 and 1.
Okay, so when I get to Revelation, you got to do Isaiah 34:16 if you don't mind, sir.
All right, let's do that real fast.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 34 and verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these things, no one of these shall fail.
Stop. Now, is that the book of the Lord?
Yes.
Everything that's written in there is going to come to pass, right?
Yes.
So then, what's next?
None shall want her mate.
Okay, who is she? And who is her mate?
Well, in context.
Context, I love it.
Right, you got to start at. You got to go with the context.
Yes, sir.
So let's start at verse 15.
Verse 15. There shall the great owl make her nest, and lay, and hatch, and gather under her shadow. There shall the vultures also be gathered, every one with her mate.
Right.
Seek ye out the book of the Lord and read.
Read on.
No one of these things shall fail. None shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them.
Right.
And he that casteth the lot for them, and his hand have divided it unto them by line. They shall possess it forever. From generation to generation shall they dwell therein.
Right. So when you deal with Isaiah chapter 34 in context, at the beginning, it's going into the indignation of the Lord that he has with all nations. His sacrifice that he's coming with, as you read on down, is given a comparison between the Israelites using different animals and things of that nature. So as far as that's what I'm trying to understand your point as far as verse 16, like what's the point, or what question is you directly asking?
We are reading the book of the Lord. We're trying to figure out all these prophecies, so when the bombs start coming, we're going to be right following his statutes and commandments.
Right.
But if he's always considered as the father, her mate would be wisdom. Seek ye out the book of the Lord, for none shall want her mate. The people you preaching to, they don't want the wisdom. But you're out here trying to get them the wisdom.
Right.
You're trying to get them to see not only you got a father, but you got a mother, because we're your brothers.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm trying to express.
No, I see. I see that perfectly.
So is that a very heretical thought to say that we have a mother?
No, it's not.
Okay,
we
so
have
now,
mom.
okay, which could be God.
God is our mom.
Now watch. Okay, so here it is. Moses has stated that God doesn't like unbalanced scales, right?
Right.
So when the Catholic Church comes in and they change, well, according to Daniel, they change law and times.
Mm-hmm.
They change the Sabbath to Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And what law did I asked, what did they change? What law?
You asking what law did the Catholic Church change?
Yeah.
They changed a lot of laws. Like you said, the Sabbath.
Okay. I also present that they changed the 5th commandment. They put the 5th commandment on the second tablet. So now it's 4060. They got them thinking that our father and mother are our earthly parents. First 5 deal with the Most High alone. 6 through 10 deal with man alone. First 5 deal with God alone. 6 through 10 deal with man alone. So when Messiah says this is the summation of the law, love your brother and love the Most High.
Right.
But if I got the 5th commandment on the second tablet, I'm out of order. If Moses put it into the law and it's stone, it ain't something we can erase, burn up on paper. It's in stone. So it's in the law. Our mother and father. 1 through 5 is El alone.
So to understand this, are you saying that wisdom is in the law? That's what you're saying?
Okay, so
it is in the law.
But
as far
in
as
the 10 Commandments.
It's not just, wisdom is in the 10 Commandments. But
okay.
It's wisdom, see, you don't want to look at it. Wisdom it could be manifold. You have strict commandments that's given. You have wisdom, knowledge, understanding. You have the commandments, you have the ordinances, you have the judgments. They all different. If I tell you don't commit adultery, you have certain wisdom behind it. Certain ordinances that bring through wisdom. Like, don't even sit at another man's wife. Don't even look at her. Is that a commandment? No. But it's wisdom behind that so you can abstain from breaking that commandment.
But if Moses put 1 through 5 as ordinances to the Most High alone.
It's not ordinances, it's commandments.
It's commandments.
It's strict commands.
Strict commandments to God alone.
Right.
Is the 5th commandment to honor your father and mother, is that dealing with God alone?
That's dealing with your earthly mom and your father. But,
okay,
hold on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. I like it. Go ahead, bro.
If you want to, because the Bible is, give me Job 11:6. All right, the Lord said that he will show thee the secrets of wisdom, that it is double to that which is. Therefore know that the Lord requires of thee less than thy iniquity deserve. So, let's bring it up.
Book of Job, chapter 11, verse 6, and that he would shew thee the secrets of wisdom, that they are double to that which is.
That they are what?
That they are double to that which is.
Read on.
Now, know therefore that God exacteth of thee less than thy iniquity deserveth.
So certain things, especially in the law, has a dual meaning. So you, in context, That's dealing with your earthly mother and your father. How do we know that? Because we could go to the same thing in the book of Deuteronomy. The second law is reiterating the same thing. Honor your father and your mother. But if a brother comes along and say, so your father, hey, that's on a deeper level. If he say on a deeper level, you got ears to hear, it's really talking about the Most High, wisdom talking about your mother. We can't be wrong at that. Because, hey, I can see that. That's double fold. That's skillful. That's what you call a skill.
That's rightly divided.
Right, and wisdom teaches you skill.
So we good so far? So far?
Yes.
Okay, so now, it's in Sirach where it says that God was the Word of God.
God was the Word of God.
Right, or God created, he created the Word of God first. The Word of God. The Word of God.
You're talking about John 1:1?
John 1:1 is beautiful because how I look at it, John 1:1, he understands the feminine aspect of Elohim.
Are you saying the Father has feminine characteristics?
No, I'm saying the Father has a wife.
Which is who?
Wisdom, El Shaddai.
And that's literal.
Default to context. Let's just do it this way. If we got a mother, everything that you know, all the scriptures you know, pull something out that would help me to see my errors.
Say that again.
If it's meant to be understood as literal, that we have a spiritual mother and father, everything that you know, can you bring out a precept that shows that I am in error? That I should not be
thinking that the Most High has a
a wife, right?
Right, because let's go to Daniel 7:9. All right, the Lord is independent.
Oh yeah, the Father is.
The Father.
Right, but
So the Father doesn't have a wife. Why? Because it doesn't give it the most. See, that's the thing. In order to have a wife, sex is marriage. Do you agree with that?
yeah.
So if sexual intercourse is marriage.
But this is how can we understand spiritual things when you can't understand the natural? He's trying to give us an idea of how we get this.
Well, hold on.
Yes, sir. Okay, take your time.
In order to have a wife, you have to lay down with a woman.
Yes.
The Most High doesn't have hormones.
Yeah.
So it's
right.
impossible for him to have a wife.
Right.
Just like it's impossible for Christ to have a wife physically.
Right.
But are you talking about, is that his spiritual wife? That's
Yeah, spiritual wife. Yeah.
I wouldn't say that just because it's not written. That's the only thing.
Commandment 5. Revelation what?
22:18.
Go. What does it say? Bring it out.
All right, before we bring that out, what do you mean commandment 5?
Honor your mother and father, your father and mother. The 5th commandment isn't. The Catholic Church changed the 5th and put it on the 2nd tablet.
Well, we would have to ask for proof.
You just said it by saying that, no, that's our earthly parents.
In context, it is.
No, okay, no, here's the context. 1 through 5 deal with God alone.
That's not true.
So you're saying, if he doesn't like unbalanced scales and he got 5 on one side and 5 on the other, and the Messiah said this is summation of the law, love your brother as yourself, 6 through 10, and love the Most High as serve the Most High. That's 1 through 5.
But what about Deuteronomy 5 that's saying the same thing?
What does it say?
It's literally giving, let's go to it, Deuteronomy 5 and 12. It's literally it's a reiteration of Exodus chapter 20. So you don't want to get too deep as saying, okay, 5 and 5 is a just balance.
Right.
You don't want to get too deep because that's where assumptions start to come in, and now it can lead you down the wrong path. Certain things is just plain, keep it how it is.
Got you.
So as far as, but like I said, I can see if you say, okay, we got to honor our physical father and our, so like a spiritual father and spiritual mother, I can see that. Wisdom and the Most High.
So when wisdom came upon the Messiah as a dove, he's doing the same thing that she's doing, screaming out on the street corners.
Christ already had wisdom before.
Huh?
Christ had wisdom before Matthew chapter 3.
But the baptism shows that the dove, the consummation, the actual dunamis, that's when it happens. I don't.
understand that, but I'm saying Christ already had wisdom. He already increased. He had wisdom since he was a little kid, since he was 12 years old, according to Luke, the 2nd chapter.
Okay, so when he's telling Mary, my time hasn't come, it's yes, he had the wisdom, he had the insight, he knew who he was. I'm about doing my Father's business, but at this particular time, he needed that power, the spiritual power.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
Because again, he's Christ. He was born with, and he had the Spirit without measure.
Okay.
Did he increase? Absolutely. Was that part of his moments increasing as he got older? Absolutely.
Okay, you wanted somebody to read something, then I gotta ask something about
5.
Genesis again.
Deuteronomy chapter 5 and verse 12. Keep the Sabbath day to sanctify it, as the Lord thy God hath commanded thee.
We're not going to read this whole thing.
Okay.
We're just not going to read it, just for the sake of time.
I got it
But
on.
when you read Deuteronomy chapter 5,
Yes, sir.
chiefly, I'm saying 5 on down is saying the same thing in Exodus 20. So that's why I'm saying you don't want to make that, you don't want to get too deep on that. As far as the 5 and the 5, this dealing with just God alone, this just dealing with, you know what I'm saying, man, because you could Israel committed adultery on the Most High, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Is that with the 5 up, that's just dealing with the Lord? No. So the commandments is double-fold, it's dual, that's what I'm saying.
It is dual, but how it has been revealed to us is a relationship, marriage. Everything is masculine, feminine, and if you can consider the Most High, okay, let's leave that. You wanted to have him read something?
No, we're not reading that.
Okay.
You said you had a question.
Okay, so like in Genesis 3:15, when the Most High is, when the Messiah is killed, it seems as though all 4 gospel writers understood it to be literal, and then we got 4 witnesses.
All right.
They said that his heel was over a skull. Golgotha in Hebrew is a place of a skull. It's not supposed to be considered Esau, Edom.
No, it's the place when you go into it geographically, it looks like a skull.
But what if it was somebody's skull?
It's not, because when you go into the place geographically, it looks like a skull.
Well, what if it's not?
No, it is. You can literally go over there, Golgotha, and it's ancient pictures, and it looks like a skull.
All due respect, who told you that? I mean, who showed you that?
You could look this up. Let's look it up, Golgotha.
But that's their pictures.
But I'm saying it's not like it's Photoshop or anything. You have archaeologists; they literally been over there.
Okay, so when David cut off Goliath's head, he took it to Jerusalem and he buried it. 1,000 years later, Yeshua was born. 33 years later, he was crucified. David was trying to fulfill Genesis 3:15.
Are you saying that? That's the statement you're making?
Yep.
Well, you have to come with the precepts on that.
Psalms 151.
Let's go to Psalms 151.
Yes, sir.
That's Psalms chapter 151.
No, 151.
I'm saying Psalms chapter 151. That wasn't in the Masoretic text.
Who took it out?
It was never in there.
It's there if you go to
According
it.
to scholars, it wasn't in there. Yeah, I was just gonna pull it up. That's the place it's called.
Who's the scholars? Is it us?
You have a man by the name of Saint Jerome, who literally sat down with all of these books and canonized them.
And when he put it into Latin, Calvary is Latin for physical cranium, a physical skull. He was not talking about the shape of the mountain.
Well, hold on. You can't. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of assertions because we can't say that. You don't know what Jerome was thinking when he did that. So that's why it's good to just stick to the precepts, go into the history, the archaeology, but you don't want to go outside of that. Because if you go outside of that, now it's different. You know what I'm saying? So assumptions come up that you can't prove.
So the fork.
But Psalms 151,
Have you read it?
I read it.
What does it pertain to?
It's pertaining to David being chosen.
To do what?
To be king over Israel. How you chose him out of all of his brothers.
I just asked you, if you don't mind, to Google it,
No, I know we read Psalms 151.
but it doesn't say what you just said, in all due respect.
All right, let's pull it up. Psalms 151.
It's not in there.
No, it's not in there.
Before we go into it, it says Psalms 151 is a short psalm found in most copies of the Septuagint, but not in the Masoretic text of the Hebrew Bible. The title given to this psalm in the Septuagint indicates that it is supernumerary, as no number as fixed to it. The psalm is ascribed to David. So the Psalms 151, you don't want to look at it as, all right, that's another book or something in it. When the scholars they going into it, they're saying it's because when I read Psalms 151, it's not like it's off or anything.
But what is?
It could have been a copy of the Psalms inside of it. They just labeled it as 151.
Could we read it?
Yeah, we can read it. Psalms 151 says, this psalm is ascribed to David as his own position, though it is outside the number. After he had fought in single combat with Goliath, I was small among my brothers and the youngest in my father's house. I tended my father's sheep. My hands made a harp, my fingers fashioned a lyre. And who will tell my Lord? The Lord himself, he is he who hears. It was he who sent his messenger and took me from my father's house and anointed me with his anointing oil. My brothers were handsome and tall, but the Lord was not pleased with them. I went out to meet the Philistine, and he cursed me by his idol, but I drew his own sword. I beheaded him and took away the disgrace for the people of Israel. So it is going into David being chosen.
What did David do to Goliath?
He killed him.
And what did he do with his skull?
What point are you trying to get to?
No, I mean, did he take it to Jerusalem? Is it written that he took the skull to Jerusalem?
Let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 17. Right? 1 Samuel chapter 17, and give me verse 50.
1 Samuel 17 and 50. So David prevailed over the Philistines with a sling, with a stone, and smote the Philistine, and slew him. But there was no sword in the land of David.
Right.
Therefore David ran and stood up upon the Philistine, and took his sword, and drew it out of the sheath thereof, and slew him, and cut off his head therewith. And when the Philistines saw their champion was dead, they fled. And the men of Israel and Judah arose and shouted and pursued the Philistines until thou come into the valley and to the gates of Ekron. And the wounded of the Philistines fell down by the way to Sharam, even unto Gath and unto Ekron.
Read on.
And the children of Israel returned from chasing after the Philistines, and they spoiled their tents. And David took the head of the Philistines and brought it to Jerusalem.
Right.
But he put his armor in his tent.
Right.
And when Saul saw David go forward against the Philistines, he said unto Abner, the captain of the host, Abner, whose son is his youth? And Abner said, as thou...
I said on that. The point you wanted was, did he take it to Jerusalem? We just read it.
What would be the point of him taking it to Jerusalem?
He took it to Jerusalem. In an ancient world, when you cut off somebody's head in war and you take it back to your place, that represents, it's like a token, for lack of better terms.
Right.
So Saul, he did the same thing.
Okay.
Right? Even when Saul died, they cut off, you know what I'm saying, his Saul's head and took it back to their land.
So could David have been using that skull as a sign unto Israel? Because we always...
Genesis 3 and 15, that's what I'm saying. Is that basically what you're saying is Genesis 3 and 15 going into King David?
I mean, everything is all together, but in it being together, it was a Goliath's skull. Because if it was Goliath's skull, I would think that information could help the other camps come together, because you still got some camps saying that Jesus was, or Yeshua was, didn't have a natural father. Y'all teach that Joseph was his literal father?
Yes, he
Okay,
was.
so other camps, some camps are still teaching other stuff. So it's even like with the serpent. Do you teach that the serpent was an angel? Was it masculine? Was it a fallen angel? Did it have sex with anybody?
Let's go to it. Give me Genesis 3:1. All right, and give me 2 Samuel chapter 13 and give me verse 2. All right,
Genesis.
and give me the book of Psalms chapter 49 and 20.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
Was it an animal or was it a human?
It was a man.
It was a man?
The serpent was an actual man.
Genitalia man.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Right, a part of an ancient nation.
Oh, no problem.
All right. Now, the beast, men are referred to as beasts according to the Bible.
Right.
Let's prove that. Genesis.
No, well, we
40.
good. I got you.
All right.
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
Yeah, we're already
Psalms
good.
49 and 20, Psalms chapter 73 and 22.
Well, I understand that, yeah.
All right, so those different precepts.
Right, no problem.
The field is the world according to Matthew, the 13th chapter.
Yes, sir.
All right. So when it says he was a serpent, meaning he was subtle. He was very, very subtle.
Right.
That's what made him a serpent. It's
Okay.
hip talk.
Right.
Like if I say you're a rat,
Got you. We good. We good.
All
Right. We good.
you know, precepts.
Yes, we good. We good. But see, here's the issue.
Read on. Let's read on.
Was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord had made. And he said unto the woman,
It says he. Now, if it was literal, a snake, don't you have female snakes? Not only that, can a snake talk? No.
Yeah, we know that. We already know that.
So
We
the
go, yeah,
serpent
it was
actual. It was
person.
actual man.
okay.
It's a person.
So when it gets to an adulterous woman, she is supposed to drink a drink, and then her thigh rots off
Right.
if she's caught in adultery.
Right.
Why is it again so problematic to say that the serpent was a woman?
The serpent wasn't a woman though.
No. Who has seed, a man or a woman?
Woman, actually both. But hold on, it is.
We good.
Because when you read Genesis chapter 24 and you read verse 63, it says that Rebecca, her seed, right? She's gonna be her seed basically. Let's go to that. I don't want to quote it.
How's she going to get that seed?
Right through the man.
Exactly. So a woman
But
doesn't have seed.
I understand that, but I'm saying according to the Bible, a seed is not just always sperm. A seed could be an offspring.
Exactly.
That's why the woman in Genesis 3:15, she has a seed.
Right.
Which is talking about offspring. It depends on the context.
Right.
But
good one.
the serpent it's impossible for him to be a woman because for one, it said he's a he. And not only that, it just can't get around it. It says
No,
he.
no. But I would say from the Hebraic to the English, we lose a lot of translations and meanings because the issue is he wasn't supposed to have sex with that woman. Abraham wasn't supposed to have sex with Hagar. Abraham was supposed to have sex with who the Most High said you're supposed to have sex with. So
Why wasn't he allowed to have sex with Hagar?
Because the promise was coming through Sarah, through Isaac.
Right, but you have Ishmael is what he has to receive his promises.
But why did Abraham have sex with Hagar? Because his wife
He's
said,
barren.
right.
She couldn't bear children.
But what did the Most High say?
Well, hold on. But still though, regard that was before the fact. But hold on, because you don't want to get too in depth and try to, you know what I'm saying, twist everything and say, hold on, what about this? What about that?
Okay.
When it's talking about Hagar, Sarah gave the handmaid. Now, was that a lack of faith? Yes.
Okay.
But Abraham laid with Hagar and bare Ishmael.
Okay.
Because it says what? Abraham will be the father of many nations, not just one nation.
I have no problem with Ishmael or Hagar or anybody. But it's just like Adam. Adam says, it's the woman you gave me. Abraham is saying the same thing. He's listening to his wife instead of listening to the Most High. This thing continues to go on. I'm going to listen to somebody else other than listening to you. So
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
You married?
No.
Okay. So with that being said,
I am married.
I got you. Good. Christ is your head. I got you. Okay. So
It's a wisdom.
it just appears that
You keep going.
it just appears that
Yeah, that's a good precept. Bring this up.
It's a precept. This is Genesis 21 and verse 12. And God said unto Abraham, let it not be grievous in thy sight because of the lad, and because of thy bondwoman. In all that Sarah had said unto thee, hearken unto her voice, for in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
she was obedient to the Lord.
No, it said it told Abraham to hearken unto Sarah, his wife, concerning the handmaid Hagar. So that's why I said I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
But that was just a precept.
No problem. No problem.
You
Okay.
go ahead.
So who was the serpent's? Oh no, I can't ask that.
Who is the serpent seed?
No, who did the serpent have relations with to produce the seed? If it was a man, if it was masculine.
See, that serpent, let's go to that. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 31 and verse number 3. Now we diving into the in-depth secrets. All right.
That's all I've been waiting
Now the
for, bro.
serpent seed is his offspring. Now the serpent was an ancient nation. Some, you might hear somebody say prototype Canaanite nations. All right. Even though the Canaanites wasn't there, it was just a prototype before the chosen Adam was there. But it was an ancient, because it was more people on the earth than Adam and Eve
Yeah,
wasn't
no
the first
problem.
people on
I
the
got you.
earth. So it was an ancient nation.
Okay.
You saying who did he have sexual relationships or sexual relations with?
To produce that seed
Right,
that will provide a skull.
right. That's why we said Genesis chapter 3 and 15 is not literal. Through the spirit, the serpent, that same spirit that's on the serpent is on the so-called white man.
To be against, okay, I'm
The
sorry.
woman. Right. So that enmity between the serpent seed and the woman seed in this context is chiefly going into the seed, because that, again, that same spirit is on the so-called white man or the serpent. That's why it's always going to be enmity between the nation of Israel
Gotcha.
and the nation of Edom.
Okay.
That's when we're going into that prophecy.
No problem.
And to what it means.
But for me, in the seed and the serpent, you're about to bring out the Syrian.
Well, this is a code where it's not literal the Assyrians.
Okay, help me out if
This
you
is
don't
going
mind.
into the Garden of Eden.
Right.
Going into the different nations. We just proven that it was different nations there, that it was a big conspiracy. All right, let's go to Ezekiel 31 and verse number 3.
We're talking about the trees, the cedars. Okay, I got that, but it's the thing of who is the seed. Is it you're just going to say it's a nation against another nation? Okay, all right, we got it.
Again, you want to keep it in this context
Got you.
on a spiritual level, because you're going to get confused.
Got you.
All right, so read this.
Ezekiel chapter 31 verse 3. Behold, the Assyrians was a cedar in Lebanon, with fair branches, and with shadowing shroud, and of an high stature, and his top was among the thick burrows. And the waters made him great, the deep set him up on high, with the rivers running round about his plants, and set out her little river unto all the straits.
Down to verse 5.
Verse 5. Therefore his height was exalted above all the trees of the field,
Trees are referred to as men, read on.
and his branches became long because of the multitude of waters when he shot forth. All the fowls of heaven made their nest in his boughs, and under his branches did all the beasts of the field bring forth their young, and under his shadow dwelt all great nations. Thus was he fair in his greatness, in the length of his branches, for his root was by great waters. The cedars of the garden of God could not hide him. The fir trees were not like his boughs, and the chestnut trees were not like his branches, nor any tree in the garden of God was like unto him in his beauty. I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden that were in the garden of God envied him.
It says what?
Envied him.
So wait, envied him. So this whole, when you go into Genesis chapter 3, it's a plot. It was a nation, they plot, because Adam is the top man on the earth. He's the top creation on the earth.
And how you get him off his square?
Right.
How?
Through his woman.
Through another woman.
So you, what you mean another woman?
If you look at it literally, you're bringing out the Rima, the hidden aspect. But I'm saying if you just look at it on the surface, it's Kanye and Kardashian all over again.
Are you saying, let's get straight to are you saying that Adam had another wife?
No. Well, when he was looking for a mate amongst the beasts of the field, yeah.
When we say a mate amongst the beasts of the field,
he was looking for, how does it go? Let's go and read.
When you talking about when Adam was alone?
Right. He was going amongst the beasts of the field, and it's not like he was at the zoo checking out for somebody, because the next thing he asked for is a wife. He needs a helpmate too, because the other nations, they have women, they have female counterparts.
Well, he didn't ask for one. That's the thing. Again, he's the top man on the earth.
What do you mean he didn't ask the Most High for a wife?
No, the Lord seen that man. Let's go to it. Let's go to Genesis chapter 2, verse 15. The Lord seen that man was alone, and he said, "It's good that man shall not be alone."
Okay, so if he was not to be alone, not that Adam, since he's the top guy, that he was envying somebody else, but did he realize other people are, they got relationships going, and the Most High is going to give him someone to have a relationship with.
We don't know his thought process.
Flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. Not somebody I can hook up with.
Right. Okay. But I'm saying we don't know. We can't say Adam was out there looking, saying he kind of looking
bro.
for the shorties.
Yeah.
We can't say that.
That's what you got to say out. I would say, wouldn't it be interesting? Because most of what we're going through is that.
But Adam was on a different level. Adam was a righteous man.
Okay, so what did he do?
So Adam, he's the top. Look, Adam, he's the head hunch. He's the top man on the earth.
But he messed up.
Absolutely. But he could lay back.
He could have.
He's in paradise. So it's things that come with a woman.
Yeah.
So if Adam had that wisdom and understanding, he knew his things, that his pros and cons that come with a woman, why would he take that upon himself? And that's what, if he did have that mindset of I want a woman, and he took a woman, you see what that woman got him, and that led to his destruction and his downfall.
Exactly.
So that's why I wouldn't say that Adam was out there getting on the honey dips.
No, he wasn't on the honey dips, but I would say he was trying to fulfill, as you would say, what was
Genesis 1
and 1.
Fruitful and multiply.
Pardon?
Are you saying he was trying to fulfill, be fruitful and multiply?
No, he understood. It's kind of like if Adam didn't sin, did Jesus have to come?
Right.
Would Jesus have to come?
He wouldn't.
But everything was created through Christ.
Right. But he wouldn't have to come on the scene and die if Adam didn't go off.
He would never have had to come.
No, it wouldn't be no purpose, because the Lord created, give me that in Wisdom of Solomon 2:23. The Lord created Adam to be immortal. He said if you don't eat of the tree, you will not die.
Right.
So if man is immortal, Christ wouldn't have to come on the scene and die for the sins of the nation of Israel.
And I think that's where the subtlety comes in that, and it's all speculation, conjecture, I get it. But what else would the serpent would have been able to bring to Adam to be like, hey, the Most High has a son who created all things, and in order to really magnify his greatness, let him take on flesh.
Well, the serpent didn't present him with that idea.
Okay, I understand.
So we don't want to make insertions, but bring this out.
Not at
2:23. It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 23. For God created man to be immortal.
It says what?
For God created man to be immortal.
The Lord created man originally to be immortal. Read on.
And made him to be an image of his own eternity.
Right, so...
Man meaning masculine and feminine.
Right, meaning mankind.
Gotcha.
Right, so with that being said, the serpent came through his subtlety. He knew if he could get to the woman could get to the man. I mean, it's like it's showing you that it's been like that since the beginning of the time.
Okay.
If you want to get to a top drug dealer, do you go to him head on? Do you give him a J. Reed? Is that gonna work? No. Send a beautiful woman in there. And that's the best chance of you taking them down.
All right.
A war general. We look at Holofernes in the book of Judah. It said the Titans couldn't even slay that man. Neither the giants. Nothing could. He was invincible. Nothing could stop him.
But that woman.
But the beauty of a woman.
See, you keep bringing it out. You keep Solomon.
Hey,
come on.
The wise man on earth.
Right.
He knew everything. The hibernational periods, the animals, the migrational periods.
But what does he ask for?
He didn't ask for a woman.
No. I'm talking about when he talked to the Most High.
Wisdom.
When you are endowed with the authority of your Father and having all wisdom of His wife, anytime you go to the Father, He's going to say, "You do what your mama said."
Well, I wouldn't say wife. That's the whole topic. We not going to say wife.
But He had a begotten son.
Absolutely, He did have a son.
And then Revelation 12 says that this woman was with child.
Right.
So I'm not going to go in and say, I'm not trying to defile the Most High in, his bedroom. I ain't looking in that. But I'm saying if he begotten somebody, he had to have relations with somebody.
No, that woman that begot him is the nation of Israel because Christ came from the tribe of Judah.
That's what you say. And No,
that's literal.
Oh, no, that is literal. But what does it say in Revelation 12 that the 12 stars that crowned her?
More than 12 stars.
The tribes.
Right.
So the 12 stars, if you're going to say one of the stars is Judah, and Judah was the embodiment of the woman, that can't be because it would be 11 stars.
So who are you saying that woman is in Revelation 12?
Wisdom.
We're going to show that it's not. Give me Revelation 12 and 1. Revelation chapter 12 and 1.
Revelation
I'm not taking y'all from y'all work, am I?
1.
Bring it out.
And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet.
You know what the sun and moon represents, according to the Bible?
I would say, as far as masculine, the sun, and the moon is feminine. And okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
According to the Bible, no. According to the Bible, the sun and the moon represents wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So it's impossible. We're gonna show that. Give me Isaiah.
No. Just stay on that. I'll stay on that for a quick second, please.
All right.
Please, because if you go right before 12, what does John say that he's seen?
He's seen a woman.
No, what does he say in
Revelation 11?
11, right?
That's a whole different. That's
no, it's
totally
not.
Different.
No, it's. Hey, bro, I just bought a car. If we were cool, just got a car. I got a new wheel. If we cool, what would you ask me?
Maybe what? I don't know. Can I get a ride?
What else?
Can I drive it? I'm not sure.
Okay, like, would you want me to describe it? Bentley?
Rail.
Okay. So now, the Ark of the Covenant has been gone. It's missing. And John is saying, I seen the Ark. Doesn't he say he's seen the Ark?
That's not in Revelation. No, it didn't say that.
It's in 11.
In the 11, that's dealing with, you got the two witnesses, you got the two olive trees. On down, going into us lying in the land spiritually was called Sodom and Egypt. On down, verse 15 on down, going into verse 12 on down, going into how we're being beamed up. Verse 15 on down, going into how Christ is coming back and reigning.
Can we just look at the last verse in 11?
Let's look at it.
Last verse.
Last verse in 11.
11. Go up to where it talks about the Ark.
11 and 19.
And there was right.
That's talking about the third heaven.
Okay. The third.
That's talking about the Most High. That's talking about the third heaven, because in the third heaven, just like you have an Ark of the Covenant on a physical level, on a spiritual level, you had an Ark of the Covenant. You had a testimony, tabernacle of His testimony. You have the angelical priest. That's why you read Revelation 15. You have certain angels that only certain angels could go in and out of the temple. Every angel could go in there. Represent, because everything is a shadow of heavenly things on the earth. just like on the physical level, everybody, only the priests could go in and out the temple, the tabernacle, right? So that's what it's going into.
Okay, so how I look at it, and just tell me how you view it. John is saying he's seen the ark of his testimony,
Right.
the ark of the covenant.
That's not talking about the Ark of the Covenant.
It's not.
No.
The ark of the testimony.
Right.
So what's the difference between the ark of the testimony and the ark of the covenant?
One is physical, the other is in the third heaven, spiritual. For example, the incense. The incense, altar of the incense, is physical. You had the physical altar of the incense, you had the incense, the priest will burn it. You had the spiritual, which is the prayers of the saints. Everything is broken down in Revelation. A lot of everything in Revelation is not literal. You read about the 10 plagues.
Gotcha.
It's not literal.
Okay. All right, won't go into it. I got you.
You want to continue into Revelation 12?
Nope. We're good.
Nope.
We're good. Yep, we're good.
What about the woman that's clothed with the sun and the moon?
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Let's go to Isaiah 24 and 23. Again, so that woman in this context is talking about Israel, not wisdom. How do we know that? Because she's clothed with wisdom, which represents the sun and the moon, because in the Bible, the sun and the moon represents...
Israel is clothed with wisdom?
Yes.
Mama, go ahead.
But that woman is not wisdom, though. You said earlier that that's wisdom.
No, I would say the woman can't be wisdom because the woman has 12 crowns. And if the 12 crowns represent the 12 tribes, and you're saying that the woman is Israel and the Messiah comes out of Judah, that's one tribe that's missing. You got to take one diadem, one diamond, one ruby out.
We gonna finish.
Okay,
finish that.
I'm listening.
Isaiah 24.
Decent questions, man, or am I bugged out?
We're giving you the right sense so you can discern.
Okay, gotcha.
Because we're going through the precepts. All right, read this.
Isaiah 24 and 23. Then the moon shall be confounded, and the sun ashamed, when the Lord of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion, and in Jerusalem, and before his ancients gloriously.
Right, so the sun and the moon, is that literal? The sun is going to be confounded? No, because if the sun and the moon depart, Israel would never be a nation. Right. Sun and the moon is always going to be here. So when it says the sun and the moon confounded, that's talking about the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of this world, right? It's going to be, the Lord is going to confuse all of that up, all right? And Esau, his so-called knowledge from the left hand is going to be going, all right? Confounded. Let's get another precept to prove that. Let's go to the book of Micah, chapter 3 and 8.
Want me to step back?
It's the book of Micah.
Micah 3 and 8. Micah chapter 3 and 8.
And then one more, and then I gotta go. All due respect.
Micah chapter 3 and verse 8. But truly, I am full of power by the Spirit of the Lord, and of judgment, and of might, to declare.
Micah 3 and 6.
Micah chapter 3 and verse 6.
Therefore, night shall be unto you, that ye shall not have a vision, and it shall be dark unto you, that ye shall not divine, and the sun shall go down over the prophets, and the day shall be dark over them.
See that? It says the sun shall go down over the prophets. Because again, the sun represents that light. All right, that knowledge, that understanding. It's going to go down over the prophets. They're not going to be able to have a clear vision. It's going to be dark. So, and there's many more precepts we could go into. But you say you got, I'm saying you got to go, etc. So that's why we're saying that sun and that moon, that's wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
Okay, I'm good. I'll look into it.
All right.
When Paul is talking about being baptized for the dead, what do you teach on that?
What do you mean baptized for the dead? I'll have to get a specific verse.
It's in Corinthians.